Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask Madam. Tonight, Madam is asking the questions of her guests, Gene Young and NJ Brown, who are actors and producer and all around Hollywood people, at least from Iowa's perspective. And they're in some great movies, Love in Quarantine and that was actually my favorite. So we're going to bring them on into the podcast and we're going to talk about that and a lot more. There we go. NJ, add to stream. All right.
Hello.
And Gene, add to stream. Hey.
Hello.
You guys, welcome to Ask Madam. And tonight, Madam's asking questions. Like, how long did it take you guys to film Love in Quarantine?
How long? What?
How long did it take you guys to film Love in Quarantine?
Wasn't it like 2.5, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's about 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. Yes.
Wow.
But we had several months of rehearsal.
Right.
And we did shoot in multiple locations as well.
Well,
yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, sure. Of course. Yeah. Then because there was the bungalow,
Which I never saw. I never saw the bungalow. So
I
love the bungalow.
I love that you went off to a bungalow. Goodbye. I'm leaving.
Yes. Goodbye. And it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
I was living in luxury.
I think I should have had the bungalow. I should have had the bungalow.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. This because it was all your fault. It was all your fault.
Exactly. Like you don't get the posh digs because you were at fault here. And listen, you're a man.
Wait a minute. How did I become? I think the jury's still out on that.
No, it was definitely your fault. No question.
Yeah. Well, anytime you're really that close with somebody, there's always the chance that things are not going to go well. Being on top of each other. What did you guys really do for quarantine? I mean, what was your real quarantine, COVID time? What was it like?
Well, well, probably very similar in a lot of ways. Well, yeah. I mean, I really was one of those people who was respectful and stayed home and really didn't go out too much, in the beginning and during only when I had to, we have to eat, right? We have to have groceries and things like that. But, for me, it was kind of stressful just because, everything, including my business, our industry shut down for over a year, as you guys well know. And I had just started the production company and was about to actually shoot a project in Budapest and then came home after meeting with the heads of the studio, and 2 weeks later, COVID happened. And then 3 weeks after that, my house caught on fire.
Oh my God.
It was just sort of like a number of things that happened back to back, and the industry shut down. And so that project fell apart, and then the house caught on fire. And
COVID's bullshit.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't.
Why in the hell?
I actually had it a little easier when they actually had us quarantine initially. I was at a friend's house, and so we all kind of got locked into that residence. So there was kind of a small group of us, so we wasn't really alone. And in my initial getting over the reaction of going into a grocery store and seeing empty shelves, and I was like, oh my God, it's the apocalypse. Which I never, and I was thinking I never wanted to. I'm a very picky eater. And I figured if there was an apocalypse, I'm not eating bugs or anything. So I just want to die during the apocalypse. I don't want to have to try to survive.
And I'm like, oh my God. First wave, and that's it.
Right, exactly. I don't need to. I told my family I don't need to stick around and do the whole survival thing because I'm too picky of an eater. So.
Yeah. See, I'm not that picky. So I'm a survivalist. And I'm like, I kind of have, things like ready to go, just in case, because you never know.
Yeah. That's kind of how I am too. I'm sort of more like that. I am picky eater, but when it comes to things like this, like states of emergency and things like that, we're like, we have food, we have, like we've stored up food. And
I don't want to come across as being unreasonable. First of all, I don't even eat leftovers, right? But my thing is like, I understood that we were in an apocalypse, but why can't I still have food delivered? I don't know. I'm just not going to do well. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to do well.
You got to think about it though. Somebody's making that food, who's making it? And then, somebody's delivering it. Who's delivering it? And, they could be like Mary there in the kitchen. Who knows?
My thing was the whole toilet paper thing. I actually wrote a short comedic script about the toilet paper issue. It's because of the ridiculousness of it. And I'm thinking to myself, you people are not wiping right if you're going through that much toilet paper.
Exactly. It really didn't. We had toilet paper, and I had because I'm like kind of a shop ahead person. I live in a floodplain, so I'm always shop ahead. So we had toilet paper. So I went to the store though, because a friend of mine said, "You can't get it anywhere." I said, "No way! I bet you I can go find some toilet paper." No, turns out I couldn't find any toilet paper. I was flabbergasted, and yeah, you're right. The empty shelves were just like, wow.
The only one that you could find was the industrial toilet paper, and it's like rubber. You can't use it in a house.
Oh no. Yeah, we call it John Wayne toilet paper.
It's very rubbery and stretchy.
We just happened to go shopping right beforehand for and stuff, so we were good. And plus, I have a family member that's got like 6 months worth of stuff stocked up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we had plenty of it too
with friends and stuff. So you kind of make do sometimes too. Yeah, my house was kind of like Party Central, because nobody was working, and there was just this little group of us like you had, NJ, and we just all hung out together and kind of got through it. But my mother passed away in February of 2020.
Oh,
March of 2020 was when it hit. It just
so happened
that I was on unemployment when that happened. So I got like $900 a week. I was just like, oh my Lord, that's more than I've made in my regular job.
It was crazy times, but it's also just an example that, anything can happen. So, so now we do things a little differently. We won't be caught off guard.
Right.
Should it happen again, I have at least, 1 week of food before I start taking out neighbors.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks of TP. So you'll be good.
Toilet paper, gold. So
it's the weirdest things, you would have thought anything but toilet paper, come on. Doesn't the U.S. have some kind of stockpile on this stuff? Well, maybe they don't now, but.
Well, they put a limit on how many chickens you can buy. And my neighbor told me that I guess it was 2 whole chickens that you could buy. And my neighbor had 4, and someone pointed at his cart, and the guy actually reached into his cart to take a chicken out of his cart, and they almost, they got into it right there, and I'm like,
wow,
that's incredible.
That's crazy.
I mean, it just shows. The breakdown of society.
It'll
happen in an instant.
Yeah. And we're still kind of seeing things happen, from all of that, with certain products. That's one of the reasons why we've been stocking up on dog food, for instance. And dog food has doubled in price because you can't find certain kinds of dog food more easily. Like one of my dogs has, health issues, so she has to eat a specific way. It's very, very important. But there's ingredients that you can't get anymore overseas. So there's a lot of products shelves are emptying out. Certain products that you can't get. So we stocked up on the dog food because, they're my babies and I'll worry about them. I'll survive, but they depend on us.
Well, see, mine would just eat what I eat.
What was that, NJ?
I said, apparently you're willing to eat dog food. You'll do whatever it takes to survive.
Well, that would be a last resort.
But it's been done,
Yeah, I mean, if it got that bad.
But even though I was with a group of friends, I will tell you, right around the 3-week mark, I think we started getting it. Everyone started nitpicking each other just a little bit. So
yeah,
we
just got real weird, and I would do Facebook Live in a shark suit, or I would sat on the kitchen floor and did bubbles for another Facebook Live. Just to.
Yeah, I took a lot of classes. On Zoom, and
I took a lot of classes too. I didn't want to get rusty. Took a lot of iPad.
Yeah. I just did a lot of crazy stuff. I worked on my house a lot, trying to get it ready to, just
me too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. After a fire, holy crap! Did it burn all the way, or did you have to go?
No. Well, the entire master bedroom was completely destroyed. Had to be gutted. But smoke. Smoke does just as. Smoke is equally as damaging. Well, maybe not as equally, but it does a lot of damage. Like we had to, like the living room, the master, the hallway. Mm-hmm. We had to repaint the whole house. Thank God for our 12x12 tough shed that we had in the backyard, because no hotel would take us and our dogs. And we had sheetrocked and carpeted and painted it several years ago, because when my nieces used to live with me when they were young, they would sometimes go out there and sleep like it was a fort.
Right.
So I'm so glad that we had that, and we lived in that shed for 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
It was where we slept and where we kind of had to dwell. In a 12x12 shed, 2 of us and all of our dogs.
Wow. How many dogs do you have?
Yeah. I have 6 dogs, but at the time, we only had the small ones. We have since then, we have 2 additions. We have 2 German Shepherds. So
they're great.
Yeah, we have 6 dogs.
Yeah. German Shepherds are awesome dogs.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, they are. Good best friend. Definitely man's best friend. Do you have any pets, NJ?
I have an Alaskan. An Alaskan Malamute Husky mix.
Nice.
His name is Leviathan. We call him Levi. He's the
fluffy.
worst.
Very, very fluffy.
Very hairy, and he's the worst guard dog ever.
Oh, right.
He thinks everybody wants to play, and I don't trust him. I think if someone gave him a bone, he'll bark out my safe combination. So I don't trust him. He'll sell me a heartbeat for a treat. So but he's I love him though. That's my baby.
Well, I have a cat, Bob, and he can't be trusted.
Bob.
I love that name, Bob.
I love the name too, Bob.
Bob can't be trusted. He got my phone the other day, and he signed up for Grindr, because he's he's a naughty kitty, and so we used to call him Bondage Bob, actually. And then it was Ball Bondage Bob for a while, but he went to the vet, and then it was just Bondage Bob again. But now, since he's been on Grindr, it's bisexual Bondage Bob. So, but I told him no bestiality, Bob. That's a hard
one. God.
Which would be hard for him considering he is a beast. So I can see that.
Right. He's like, what? No bestiality?
No. That's why, and I keep like I'll post pictures of me and Bob, and I'll be like, no means no, Bob.
Cats are so funny. They are the funniest.
I manifested.
I admit I've gotten caught up on those TikTok animal videos in general are just fun to watch. But the cat ones are the funny. They're so funny when you have the cats that freak the dogs out.
Yeah.
And the dogs just don't know what to do with them. And some of them get so freaked out. I know. And the cats, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Cats they're something else. And that's, being a witch, I have a familiar, and I have pretty much always had one, and a different one. But anyway, I manifested Bob. I had a stuffed Bob, and and we had fake Bob. So I was petting fake Bob. I'd lost my other cat, and then before a couple weeks, I had told a couple people I really want a cat, and then here come Bob, just out of the blue, and showed up on my porch, and he's been here ever since. So yeah.
Aww.
So he's my buddy.
That's cool.
I'm not. I'm not a cat person. I actually have. I don't particularly care for cats. I believe that when God tossed the angels out of heaven, they were turned into cats. So I think cats they're way too independent. And I think,
I love cats.
But they're still
turn my back on a cat. So that's just me.
Yeah. Well, I have a dog.
It does depend on the cat, though. Like, because there's certain breeds of cats that are super, super mellow. It's kind of like there's, like the Shih Tzus of the dogs. Like Shih Tzus are super mellow. There's certain breeds of cats that are like that too. Yeah. Like the big, what's the big?
The American short hair.
I haven't met a chill cat yet. Every cat that I've met, it watches me like, go ahead, just turn around. Look the other way.
But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it.
Even like right now, if I could pick up my monitor and carry it to my window, right, the bay window, you would see across the street, there's a cat that sits in the window, and I swear he's always looking at me. I don't know. I think when I'm not here, when I'm not home, he's not in the window. But when I pull up, he's sitting there waiting for me.
What a trip. I would start to think maybe something was up with the cat,
Right.
They can kind of, plan ahead for things. They're really sly.
So I'm going to get you a kitten for your birthday then, NJ?
No.
Oh, yeah.
You can if you don't mind me.
Pet.
You don't, one of my favorite re-gifting it. Yeah, that would be great.
Get him goldfish. That's a pet you can never go wrong with,
I'm just glad
we didn't. Fish requires so little care.
I'm glad we didn't have to deal with a pet and love in quarantine. Could you imagine?
Oh yeah,
I know.
I know. How would you split the dog?
Oh man, me and the cat against you. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. Then you'd have to have a dog too. So then he, got the
balance
it
out.
Yeah. So it balances out. Yeah.
We're going at it with all our attention. The pets are going at it with their attention. There could have been scenes where we're following their little dialogues and what's happening with them.
What is it, Otis and Milo kind of thing,
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, NJ was pretty much a pet, right? I mean, he did things like hide in closets, and of course, you were more like a cat. You just misbehaved.
That was, I have to admit, the going into the closet. First of all, going back into the closet, I'm like, what? I don't want to go back into the closet. But it was. That was actually a fun scene to shoot.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You were cute as a button in that scene.
You guys were great. You really I felt like you were really a couple, and all this, crap that you go through, and just the little snide comments, sometimes it's like, but you still kind of love each other at the end of the day, you still love each other, and and that I thought that was cool because I didn't envision that ending. And I talked to David Espinosa and everything, and I'm like, I said, I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to finish it yet. I said, I'm gonna, but I haven't yet. And so then he says, okay, well, let me know what you think when you do. I'm like, okay, so I did. And I'm like, oh, not how I thought that would end. I guess I thought it would be more gruesome. After I had watched The Crumbs, I thought, oh, gotta be gruesome.
Well, something tells me if it was gruesome, I would probably be on the losing end of that. So, but
maybe.
But I was actually surprised by how many of my female friends were actually rooting against me.
Oh, no.
So they were like, I don't want to be mean, but I was hoping she'd never go back to you. And I'm like, what? It was her fault. She started it.
And it's like the stress of
definitely against me. Huh?
Oh man, the stress of those situations, though. It's like you gotta who really starts it anyway? It's like it's kind of one of those things. It's like you just don't even know.
Yeah, it was actually the way David wrote it was one of the things I liked about the script. It wasn't like, they start off loving and then bam, there's conflict. It eased us into it. You start to see little things where we were, just starting to pick at each other over some of the childish things.
Yeah.
And it just kind of evolved from that. So it was really nice, the whole arc of of watching the relationship, just kind of evolve into madness and chaos.
Yeah. I love the, oh, honey, no, honey, that sort of thing.
Well, because you didn't know what was going to come next. You're like, okay. It was a bit unpredictable, which was a good thing.
Well, yeah, and that's I think that's what kind of makes it fun, is that it is a bit unpredictable. But it was predictable that the man would always think that you're cheating, just because just because you want to look nice or go out at any time of day or night,
Well, I mean,
you're cheating. I know you are.
But I mean,
really,
I was the only. We were in quarantine. What the heck was she doing?
Well, it didn't come right away. I just, I had to like break out of that cycle we were in. That's all it was about. It was just like, I don't need a reason. I just need to get out.
I would put on fake eyelashes and go out and just like wear them around the house and like dress up just to stay home because I just needed to sweatpants, t-shirt, mentality.
Yesterday was my first, because I got sick recently, and yesterday was my first time out of the house, and I took a shower and put on makeup. Or the day before yesterday.
Well, there you go. You're definitely on the mend if you felt like putting on makeup.
Yeah.
So, you're good. I'm not going to worry about
it. I didn't put on any makeup or anything. No eyelashes.
Surprisingly good for no makeup. So, I would go.
It's all in the lighting. It's all in the lighting, madam.
That's true. It is really. It is all about lighting.
The interesting thing is in a lot of the reviews, a lot of both men and women were able to relate with the tension that came with the relationship. And it made me, I kind of wanted, like, I didn't know if it was appropriate, but I kind of like, wait, what do you mean? What happened at your house? Right. But I figured it.
You want to know.
Probably a little forward, but I was like, what happened at your place? But it's interesting on how many people can actually relate to the relationship and and the tension in the relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It happened in my house too. Like we got after a while, it was just like, oh my goodness, we need a break.
See, I have a lot of room. Like I have a big yard and stuff, and we were going into summer. So it was like, there's a lot of places to go around here, and it was just really me and a roommate. And then of course, the traveling party,
Yeah.
So it was an interesting time, with, mom going and just all the stuff. I had a series of unfortunate roommates as well. So, so and some opportunists and Smith & Wesson came into play. So it was a crazy time for me too.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
It was. I had to, like not just ask people to leave, but demand that they go.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's martial law. You got COVID and everything's like screwy and so it's like martial law sometimes. And where I live is like, in the backwoods, kind of. It's like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Everything, but I'm in the country.
Yeah. Okay. Different mentality.
Yeah.
It is too.
Pass.
We're like people start to hear the banjos in Deliverance when they come down my road because it's right on the river.
It's funny you should mention that because that's the first thing I bring up to friends. We're out in the woods and I'm like, did you guys hear banjos? Because it's like the first thing I bring up. And then I get really nervous because a lot of the time my group of friends, we're out hiking or doing whatever. I'm like the only black person. I'm like, I'm going to be the first to go.
Well, it's usually that way in the movie.
Oh my gosh.
So thank God for movies like Nope, stuff like that. Now we're surviving a little longer now.
Yes.
But I told my friends, this is right. I'm going to be the first one gone. So,
oh man.
Well, I know one thing, NJ. I'd want you on my side.
So give them something to attack so you can get away?
No. That's not what I meant.
Oh, that's funny.
No, because NJ, you're a military man. You're like, you know what you're doing. You got you. You got your shit together.
Here's Bob.
I have moments, but I always envision myself like if some horror was going down, I would be the one that wants to run and trip over a pebble or a twig and lay there screaming until they catch up to you. So I just want to do that. I just want to do that one time in a film, just once.
Okay.
So.
Don't make me change my mind. I'm going to be like, really? I got to go back there and pick him up. Oh my goodness. I can't stand that when they do that in horrors. I can't stand that. It's like, why do they always have to fall over a pebble, right? It's like, oh.
I'm worried that, paranormal investigating, I'm going to, get the get scared and want to run away because doing some paranormal investigating here. So have you guys
well, it depends if it's light or dark, like if it's negative or positive energy,
it'll be dark.
I actually did a film with an actual paranormal investigating team, and it was very interesting. So I asked them a lot of questions, and some of the stuff that they're willing to endure, that's pretty amazing. So
and it's all for the love of finding that discovery, because there's really nobody getting paid big money in this.
It's definitely an adrenaline rush.
Well, if they are, they need to tell me how they're doing it. So. But tell me more about your paranormal investigating movie. What's up with this?
Oh, yeah, it's called it's called Into the Further. Okay. I think it's running on YouTube now. I'm actually, gosh, dog it, I'm the villain in it. So yeah, I'm actually in makeup, and I'm one of the killers. So I'm the villain in that one.
That's good. Ooh. It's kind of fun to be naughty like that.
It is. Well, it's interesting because I actually kill one person with an axe while they're running, and so we were practicing it. And as soon as he took off running, I threw the axe and I hit him right in the middle of the back, and he fell forward. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was great. We did 10 takes of it, and I hit him all 10 times in the exact same spot. And so everyone got a little nervous at that point. So he's so it was kind of crazy. But
good aim though, right? You got good aim.
Yeah. Well, I was a marksman in the military, so.
Oh, nice.
That's what I'm saying. I want him on my side because he's a military guy. Yeah, he's got his stuff together. Well, don't let him fool you with this tripping over pebble talk.
The only thing is, like in Love and Quarantine, I didn't get to actually. Well, I probably shouldn't say it. I don't want to give up too much.
You didn't get to. Oh, right.
Yeah, but it was cool walking around. It was cool walking around, with carrying a rifle.
Oh my gosh, wait till y'all watch this, what he does.
With the rifle.
I'm not going to give it away. I got to make him go watch it. The other film that NJ and I were in together with Espinosa was Demon Fighter.
Yes.
That was a fun one. Yeah.
Fighter as well.
Yeah. So what did you guys like about being in that movie? What was like the high point for you?
Being possessed. I got to be possessed.
Was there a lot of makeup with the possession? Like, did you do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't exist.
Yeah. Wow. Because you were possessed by someone else.
Yeah, I didn't exist.
She did a good job at the possession. She did a good job in that. So
yeah. That's awesome. That would be fun. Like,
Jenny can play crazy, so that's good.
I can. Well, you have to be a little crazy just to be an actor, anyway. So, or to be in this industry, you got to be a little crazy to be in this industry. So,
crazy and thick-skinned, for sure.
Thick-skinned.
Demon Fighter.
Listen, you can't let what people think or say bother you about. Your performance or what you did in the, with the film, because really at the end of the day, it's you that lives with you. And if you're happy with the work that you did, then, just let the critics come.
And we're hardest on ourselves.
Our job is to, deliver the vision that the director and the director is going to work with the writer. In this case, it happens to be one and the same. So if you can deliver what David envisioned, then that's all that matters. Then we did our job.
Yeah.
It was actually Demon Fighter was actually the first film that I worked on with David as director. So with David, it isn't just, he's not just directing, you're also going to school.
Yes.
That's true.
You walk away knowing a lot more than when you walked into it. So
and he is very much,
he educates his actors for sure.
He does. And David is very much an actor's director. Yes. I mean, like, he is really, really good at pulling the best. And like he said, educating us, and really good at making it so that we have a very clear understanding of what the scene is about and what he is trying to get from us. And he's really good at pulling it out of us. Like David and I, we would joke after a while, because it got to the point where I would turn to look, he would just look at me and I'd start crying. I'm like, what's going on here? But he has a really special way of tapping into us.
Yes. And I can tell that when I interviewed him, he was just that kind of person. He's kind of, patient, calm teacher, but he's still got that zest,
I'm sorry, did you use the word patient?
Yeah.
But he was with me, but I bring out the best in everyone.
Madam, you may have a very interesting relationship. He's patient with you. David is patient on set, but he has his vision. He has something he wants to do it, and then and you learn to work with that. Craig, his partner in crime, who's handling all the business side, the other producer. Craig is quiet, but he's watching everything.
He watches everything.
In the bushes. I didn't realize that was him in the bushes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
he
really? You're a good actor, because I didn't know it was you.
He's also the one that served me. And the thing is, they didn't tell me how that scene was going to go. So when we filmed it, so he just
dropped it.
When he just did it, I was like, my reaction was real. Like, what the hell did you just do? Because they didn't warn me. So, but it was an interesting cast on both Demon Fighter and Love in Quarantine. You get to work with these talented people, and one of the things I love about doing film is you get all these people. I like to watch the credits at the end of the film. And even though some of them are flying by, you don't catch all the names, but there's so many people involved in making this vision happen, and which is really cool. And then also getting to watch people work together, watching Craig and David work together, you can see that mutual respect. They do everything as a team, right? Yeah. No one person's lording over the other. And then for actors and for crew, that gives you a sense of of support. A sense of calm that you're with somebody who knows what they're doing. Right. So we get to focus on our art and not have to worry about what everybody else is doing. So it's pretty cool.
And that's great. Cool. That's really a great testament to his directing abilities. David's yeah, that's great. And really just a swell guy.
Yes. And the thing,
and so is Craig. I thought they were both just really very, very nice men, and to give me their time so generously, I really was, quite honored. And same with you guys. I know you're busy people, and you got lots to do, and I'm really feel honored that you spent some time with me. So,
thank you for your for being patient with us as well around that,
and bringing us on. That's really nice of you to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm very honored to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm always looking for interesting people, to bring on and let people know about, because it's not just about paranormal stuff. Although you guys have done some paranormal movies, and stuff. So I mean that kind of fit in. But yeah, it's just about people, and getting to know people.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, with a production company, what kind of stuff do you do? I mean, what is your role in the production company? I mean,
we both have our own. We have our own production companies. As well.
Okay.
I'll let Jeannie go first.
No, you go ahead, NJ. You go first.
Oh,
I'll go first. Whatever.
So all the women watching you go, well, he's not a gentleman at all, is he? He just kind of stepped in.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I'm not going to fall for that. So after you, Jeannie.
Well, we are modern women, and you know.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm a co-founder. It's producer. And of course, I put myself in as an actress when I can, when it's appropriate. Of course, we're not suited for all roles, whether it's our project or not.
Right.
I mean, it's just production has a lot of moving parts. I mean, NJ knows, and NJ, we can talk at the same time. It's fine. I mean, because we both understand what goes into it. There's just a lot of moving parts. Putting your in each project that you work on may have other than you and your immediate partners, you may have a different team of people, different group of people, from the DP to the, unit production manager to the sound people. Like, it might be different each one. In terms of projects, my goal, of course, we don't always have this opportunity, but my goal is to tell 21st century storytelling, stories of impact, stories that have, the possibility of changing lives, and bring where the ultimate message is, one of unity and bringing together, or just thought provoking, but have the ability to change someone's life for the better. That's my favorite kind of stories. And it's in terms of genre, like I have several various projects in the pipeline right now that are all, from drama to sci-fi to fantasy. We have a little bit of a mix. So that's awesome. Kind of it in a nutshell. I mean,
so do you do you scout locations, or do you,
Oh yeah, we do everything. Producers do everything.
Anything that needs doing, you guys are.
Well, I mean, if you're not Sony Pictures or Lionsgate and those guys, where you have
deep pockets and connections.
So you've got a team that specifically will go out and find your locations and stuff like that. So
right,
when you're starting out, you kind of got to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I know that, like, our the first film I wrote a film from my childhood, Faestrom, which is in post-production, and that's a fantasy sci-fi based one, and we used a lot, maybe went a little overboard on the different locations, but they're all really sweet locations. We got to use the Sacramento Cemetery. We got to use some historical sites, state of California work.
Nice.
So we got to do a lot of different things, but it was a lot of work. And one of the things I've learned is less is more. And and like Jeannie says, you don't have to star in everything. I was one of the leads and directing in the first one. And then halfway through, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I'm mature enough to be doing both. So it was a lot of work. It was very exhausting.
I bet.
And so
I bet to direct and act in the same film would be really tiresome.
I think, and I always thought, because one of the mindsets, and I don't know how this worked with you, Gina, but it's like kind of like, you know what? If I don't do it, it's not going to get done right, or no one else was going to do it. So it took one film for me to learn that's not true.
Yeah. Right. Sometimes you have to let go of the reins just a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. So when go ahead, Jeannie.
Oh, no. When you wrote
when we did Reset, which is a sci-fi LGBT one that has an interesting twist at the end, it was like, people read the script and they go, oh my God, you're going to play the lead, right? I'm like, no. No, I play the supporting character. I am not going to play the lead. But, it's just finding the right people. And I mean, I'll do man walking dog in the background now in a film. I'm okay with that.
Like Craig, man Englishes.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely a learning. And it's interesting to be on sets with other people. I'll take the backseat in a heartbeat. So this one of the things of watching Dave and Craig work. Jeannie's, like she mentioned, she's got partners. I have a partner in
I have one
and FNC. Yeah, I have one too. FNC Productions. And the thing is, he handles the legal stuff, the accounting stuff, and stuff. And I get to do all the creative stuff. And and he's like, just do your thing, because that's what we're all about. Bring out the creativity. So I'm doing
well, aren't you lucky?
Can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Nope, too much. Can't do that. So he'll rein me in a little bit because I'll be like, I'll like, hey, let's go shoot on the moon. But so he'll kind of rein.
Be nice,
So I watched that, and I watched that with Craig and David on how they work as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Craig is handling all the behind scenes stuff, very supportive to let Dave do his creative stuff. And then I kind of watch them when they go off and have their little conversations. I try not to I eavesdrop sometimes. But they work very well together.
Yeah.
And it's a very cohesive relationship. And I think everybody wins when you have that. And I know that, I mean, you guys are like in New Mexico making things happen, right?
We're going to be there unless the date gets pushed out. But right now we're tentatively, we're staying in stone right now, but you know how that can go with production, things change. But yeah, right now we're tentatively scheduled to be in New Mexico in December to shoot a pilot for a series, which I'm super excited about. We had raised first money in on that, and a larger film studio in New Mexico fell in love with it, and they're funding the remainder, and we're going to shoot it there. The tax incentives there are really, really good too, so that works out well. But yeah, I just going back a little bit, just NJ reminded me, when you're not a bigger boy in this world, you do have to learn that sometimes less is more, because I remember the very first time I ever produced anything. It was a 10-minute short that we entered into a Scary Cow film contest. I think I told you about this, NJ. Yeah. And I was just so excited. Now, I mean, I think we did a really good job, but in hindsight, you learn, right? We had like 6 locations for 10 minutes.
Oh,
it was insanity. It was insanity, but I was really proud of it still. But yeah, it's like each time you produce something, you learn more, and you just get a little bit better about it. And I was reading an article once from someone who's bigger that basically said, expect your first 5 feature films to flop.
Oh no.
That's all F's, huh? 5 feature films to flop, because it's like, because it takes, that's sort of what it takes, it's like you learn, and then it gets a little better each time. And so,
oh yeah, for sure. My podcast, when I started out podcasting, oh dear Lord, it wasn't good. And so yeah, I know what you mean. You kind of trial and error, and you go back and watch yourself.
Yeah. I'm still doing the business and the creative. I'm having to still do both. I do have an attorney, but I use him as little as possible because, they're very expensive. But I do have to go to him sometimes. But I still am having to do both the business and the creative, which one day my goal is to be able to, my partner and our goal is to be able to, hire the different people to focus on all the different departments. I mean,
isn't that great to have?
That's the dream,
Yeah. I have some people, I have my subs, as a dominatrix, I have subs, submissives.
Dominatrix. Whoa. Back up. Wait a minute. What?
That's where the madam.
I was going to let that gracefully slip by. So
that's a different show.
It is actually. That show's on Wednesday nights at 10, and it's called Madam After Dark. And and so that's on. But yes, I have my subs, and they do a fabulous job at keeping things together for me, and keeping me on task. Usually, sometimes it gets away from all of us, but yeah, no, they're great, and they help me out around the place and take care of things, and make sure Madam is well served.
Nice.
I don't know how. Okay, I can't comment on that. Really.
NJ, are you sure?
Yeah, you can't comment on that. But every opportunity that I get to get on set, I go in with an attitude. My first attitude is I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to do my best to bring this person's vision to life. But at the same time, I'm also going to soak up anything I can get from them, because that's what, as actors, and producers, directors, we're kind of taking, everybody's always taken from everyone. And that's definitely, even like on Love of Quarantine, some of the issues that were addressed,
Yes.
David, David got some hot issues, some hot topics in that film. And when I talk to people who've seen it, they had some strong opinions on both sides. So I was actually surprised at the reactions.
I could see it being like a little, little arguments, kind of, oh no, he's wrong. No, she's wrong.
Right. Yeah, and I've actually heard of some households they were taking sides and stuff. And so on the issues. And I like that. That's one of the things I liked about Love and Quarantine, is that it didn't shy away.
It sparks that, yeah.
It didn't shy away.
If I'd watched it with someone else, I'd have been taking bets on how this ends.
Really?
Like about the midway, I'd be like, okay, taking bets on how this ends.
She's going to kill him. So
I thought somebody was going to die. I wasn't sure, and. You just never know.
You know what? I'm surprised he didn't accidentally poison himself.
Oh. And then it would look like she did it, and then
accidentally poison himself.
Yeah, exactly. And then frame her, and then she'd be in jail, and it's just I'm glad it didn't end that way. So. It was a loving. It was wait. No, it wasn't a loving end. No.
It was an interesting.
Sorry.
And the thing is,
a very interesting.
The nice thing about
sorry about that.
The nice thing is you have this feature film, right? It's a full-length feature film, and I think the cast was less than 10 people in the cast.
Yeah, I know. It was like a short list there for that.
Yeah, it was a really short list, and every actor, put all. It didn't matter how long, how many lines they had, they threw everything into it. And so
I think that's probably why it only took you guys 2 weeks to do it, because everybody was on point,
Yeah, it was they brought their A game, everybody.
Nice.
Even Robert. That's a whole other story. So even Robert. Robert played the judge, and he's also a business partner with David and Craig. But he played the judge, and I actually auditioned for the role in The Crumbs to play the sheriff, and Robert got the part, and I didn't know that until we were shooting Demon Fighter, and I found out that Robert's the one that beat me out, and I'm like, why? Because he's like the partner, or what? And then I saw his performance. Then I saw Robert's performance, and I went, oh yeah. It was him.
He's really good. He's really good.
Good. Oh my God.
Not only that.
Can you edit that part out? I don't want Robert to hear me compliment his acting, but yeah.
I'm not that.
And NJ, now that you've worked with David, that wouldn't happen anyway.
Yeah, right. No,
David is he's only going to give the role to who's right for it.
Yeah, but
I can see him being that.
But it was my first time working with David, so I didn't know what his habit
right.
was. But like I said, it really didn't matter, because I know now, David. You could be David's brother, and if you suck and don't know what you're doing, David's not going to have the bottom line. But yeah, when I saw Robert's performance, I was like, "Damn, that's why." That's why. So he was really good.
Yeah. He's an excellent actor and a sweetheart of a man. I like Robert.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Crumbs was a great movie too. I really did enjoy that one.
NJ.
I did. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it was pretty good.
Crumbs was good. I was rolling my eyes on Robert being a sweet guy, because unfortunately he is, and that's so unfair for me, because I want to. But yeah, he's too nice.
You're a sweet guy too, actually. NJ, don't see, and there he goes trying to fool you again, falling over rocks, and he's not sweet. Don't even listen to this guy. NJ is not only he's not only. He's a consummate professional. He's a sweetheart of a man. And I actually learned a lot from NJ through this whole process, and acting with him and working with him. He taught me a few things, and he's just especially behind the scenes, we had some heart-to-hearts. And I really did learn some things. He put some things into perspective for me, and it was just wonderful to work with NJ. Truly, like I would work with NJ any day on anything. He's great.
So we're not just doing this feel good thing, but it's mutual, because when you have another actor that you're working across from, and it makes it easy for you to do your role, because you could play off them so well. And that's what I had. That's what I had with Jeannie. So when we were arguing, and when there was tension, because she made it. She's very easy to play off of. And again, and that's just professionalism. So
yes, ditto that.
Yeah, David and Craig did a good job on their on getting the cast and even the crew together. There was a lot of
know what they're doing. I think.
I think yeah.
Maybe a little,
David likes to say, I guess we know what we're doing, don't we? Or something like that. He always says,
"Oh, that's funny."
He's like, "Guess we're
like you had."
They do.
Like
they do.
He says, that was really good, but why don't you play it this way? And I'm like, why? And stuff. And then I would do it, and I'm like, oh wow, that worked. And he's all, what do I know? I'm just the director, right? What do I know? So,
I've heard him say that.
He's also studied, acting and stuff. And he kind of, it's like the craft. It's the entire thing. Not just directing or producing, but actually being immersed in the story, and in delivering that story to people, right. And I think that for him, he's a storyteller, and a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, he actually teaches. He taught classes in acting, and I know that certain people he'll privately, he's doing some private coaching on. So, but he brings a lot to the table. And he's got a legal mind too.
Yeah.
So forget that.
He's a funny guy too. He's got a good sense of humor too. So.
He does. So does Craig. Craig's got
he's a little more hard to read, but
Craig was so reserved and quiet sometimes. It was like you just get nervous he's just sitting there. But like I said, he watches everything, and when he's got a quick wit. So he's funny too. He's pretty funny.
They're great guys, really. And you guys are so great too for coming on my show and just, sharing all that with me. And it's just awesome. And I hope, hey, are you still going to Fiji?
Well, I would have been gone already. I'm supposed to be in Fiji right now. So there were some issues that happened between the Philippines and Singapore. So it's a little mixed up. So it's getting rescheduled. So
okay, so you're still gonna go though?
Yeah, I'm still gonna go.
That's awesome, because I always wanted to go to Fiji. I bet it's really
me too.
I know, right?
I have friends bring back some really beautiful pictures. We were that close, but the whole immigration thing kind of got a little weird. So we're like, we're just gonna go next time.
I'm kind of nervous about going out of the country.
Well, I think the COVID thing was the amount of questions they were asking, and then you had to, I think the contact thing was a bit much, and they probably had their reasons. I don't live in that country, so but they're very careful. There's an app called Care Fiji that you have to download, so that way they know everyone you've gotten in contact with, which makes sense. But
wow,
but we were also dealing with the requirements from 3 different countries and trying to mesh it all, and we couldn't meet everyone's requirements. And so next time we just have to, we'll have to plan it out a little different, a little better.
I guess it depends on where you go. Maybe Fiji is one of the more strict ones, like you said, because I have a friend who's just was in London. She just left there. She's flying to Iceland now. She didn't run into those kinds of issues, wasn't quite as strict, I guess. But
isn't it? Is it Fiji? Isn't Fiji actually an island?
It is. It's an island. It's off. It's west of New Zealand.
Probably why? Because they're trying to keep it off the island.
And the thing is, they're so friendly. You can't get mad at them. They're like the nicest, most considerate.
Yeah.
Right? And they're just
you
doing
can't
their
really
job.
blame them either. It's like
no.
And they're just
off your island.
and they're just doing their job, and it's not about me, right? They have an entire country to care. They got tourists coming in and stuff. It was just hard for us to get everything all meshed between the different requirements of the countries, and that's on us for not doing more research ahead of time. But and so Fiji, I'm letting you, I'm admitting you guys are really sweet. You're nice people. Yep. Don't shut me down.
There you go. But the takeaway from that is, if you're going to travel, do your homework first.
All the homework, and not just the country you're going to. Your country has requirements too. So you have to make sure that you're meeting all the requirements. You got to meet them all. I had a friend that the couple, they went to France, husband and wife, and then just the husband came back because the wife couldn't because she got COVID. So they kept her for 14 days and stuff. So I mean, countries, they're sovereign.
Do they put you up when they keep you there for 14 days, or are you expected to just survive?
That's on you. So so my advice to all your listeners, those who watch, is travel insurance.
Yes.
Travel insurance, because that covers COVID. It covers COVID. It's like for, $20-$30, but you're covered for like $50,000. It covers medical, handles all this stuff. Nice. Travel insurance.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Especially in this day and age. You never know what's going to happen.
I wish I would have had that when I went to South America. Well, actually, luckily I got sick at the very end. I got one of those bacterial,
Montezuma.
It was a parasitic bacterial infection in my gut because I ate a salad. I broke down and had a salad.
See, that's why I don't eat salads.
Nothing.
I know. The whole trip, I didn't eat anything cleaned with water. I was so good, but I was craving like something healthy. And they're like, "Oh, we boil." We were on a sailboat sailing the Galapagos Islands, and the chef was like, "No, we boil the water. We take all the precautions." I should have known better. I knew better, but I just was like, I was so desperately wanting something healthy,
Just so you know, madam, she snuck in sailing, Galapagos Islands.
I know.
So she, so she kind of slid some things in there. She was very bougie down there, is what she's
It's just one of those things, that you
everyone doesn't everyone.
You've been to Galapagos. You want to mention it.
Right?
Along with a group of people who I didn't know.
Well, it's. I guess it's better to get COVID in a group of people you don't know, because you're not passing it to your loved ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, this wasn't during COVID, but yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Oh boy. Oh, that's right. That was from the water.
Yeah.
That's why they used to drink beer all the time, because they boiled the water that they made the beer with. So then they killed off anything that was in it, So they just thought it was the beer, Well, it's beer. It's good for you, No, you boiled the water. That's what's good for you. So, well, it's just been super visiting with you guys. And I hope that, you'll stop back again next time when you have a new project coming out and you want to get the word out, because I'm always happy to help you guys out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And good
go
luck.
See the film. Go see Love in Quarantine. Go watch Demon Fighter. If you want to get freaked out, go see The Crumbs. That'll freak you out.
Yeah, they're all good films, and you guys do such an awesome job. So
thank you.
Keep entertaining us.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a great
night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Let's see. Okay. So, well, I'm locked up now. Here we go. So that being said, I just want to wish everybody a wonderful night and tell you all thank you for coming. And Madam After Dark will be on Wednesday at 10 p.m. And we will have some new to paranormal investigating. Well, not new to spirit paranormal investigators. And we'll be kind of getting to know them a little bit. And we're going to definitely be having some fun with them. So tune in on Wednesday, and blessed be everyone.